Hello and welcome to HW News. This is me, Arti. Another day and another statement condemning the way Modi government has tackled, or rather, tried to tackle the anti-CAA protests. The students, faculty, staff, alumni and affiliates of Boston's Massachusetts Institute of Technology issued a statement expressing solidarity with the protests being witnessed across India against the amended Citizenship Act. The statement also condemned the police action against protests at Jamia Millia Islamia University, Aligarh Muslim University, Assam, West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Delhi, Jama Masjid and Mangaluru, which left more than 20 people dead. The statement also criticized the lathi charges, tear gas shelling, internet shutdowns, imposition of Section 144 in various parts of the country owing to these protests. Now I will read out to you two parts of the letter making a case against the CAA. The letter reads, "The Citizenship Amendment Act accelerates the path to citizenship for Hindu, Jain, Buddhist, Sikh, Parsi and Christian migrants from Afghanistan, Pakistan and Bangladesh who entered India before 2014. Ostensibly introduced to protect these religious communities from persecution, the Act does not in fact mention persecuted religious minorities, identifying instead migrants belonging to the six religions, conspicuously excluding Muslims from its purview. By introducing religion as a marker for communities which will receive such state protection, the Act directly violates Article 14 of the Indian Constitution that explicitly guarantees equality to all persons, both citizens and foreigners, within the territory of India. The letter further highlights NRC as a danger which, if implemented, can render a lot of people stateless, especially the Muslims, as they do not have the cover of CAA. The letter further states, if implemented, the NRC could make stateless those who are unable to produce these papers, while Hindus, Jains, Sikhs, Buddhists and Christians from Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh would be protected by being granted citizenship under the CAA. An overwhelming number of Muslims who have lived within the territory of India for generations, as well as more recent migrants, could be rendered stateless. Now, since the Parliament of India passed the Citizenship Amendment Bill in both its houses and President gave his nod making it an act, not only in India, protests are also happening across the world. Indian origin students at various foreign universities are holding a protest opposing the CAA and NRC. The top educational institutions in the world, including Oxford, Harvard, Yale and MIT as well, with 400 students from these varsities, issued a joint statement condemning the act and the police action during protest. The students have been raising slogans in support of Jamia, AMU and the protesters. But the foreign media has not been kind to PM Modi and his government too. A day after Rajya Sabha passed the bill, the top headlines of the prominent international dailies focused on India's CAA as well. If you go through them, it becomes clear that most of them have highlighted how the act is discriminatory for one particular religious community. On December 12, New York Times put the news on the front page, and it called the CAB divisive. It said that bill favors members of all South Asia's major religions except Islam, and leaders of India's 200 million strong Muslim community have called it blatant discrimination. Now, if we go to Washington Post, it has carried the headline which says that India passes controversial citizenship law excluding Muslim migrants. The article further says that lawmakers in India passed a fundamental change to its citizenship law to include religion as a criteria for nationality for the first time, deepening concerns that a country founded on secular ideals is becoming a Hindu state that treats Muslims as second-class citizens. The Post further adds, the new legislation creates a path to citizenship for migrants who belong to several South Asian religions but pointedly excludes Islam, the faith that is practiced by 200 million Indian citizens. Now, if we go to Al Jazeera, it has written that the bill brings sweeping changes to India's 64-year-old citizenship law by giving citizenship to persecuted minorities, Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jains, Parsis and Christians from Bangladesh, Afghanistan and Pakistan. The Independent has written that India's ruling Hindu nationalist government, and these words, please remember that it says that it is a Hindu nationalist government. It says that it has won parliamentary approval for a controversial law that would make it easier for refugees of certain faiths from neighboring countries to gain citizenship, but not the Muslims. So you have got a point that lot of people are saying this, lot of foreign media are also saying this, that it is discriminatory and Muslims are being discriminated against due to this act. That is what the dominating narrative has been in the foreign media. Now on 17 December 2019, an article titled "India Adopts the Tactic of Authoritarianism, Shutting Down the Internet" that appeared in New York Times. The lead of the article reads, "As the government of India pushes increasingly provocative policies, it is using a tactic to stifle dissent that is more commonly associated with authoritarian regimes, not democracies. It is shutting down the internet." So basically, the NYT is making a point in the first paragraph itself that the Indian government is not functioning like a democracy and it is in fact using a tactic that is used by the authoritarian regimes. Now on the same day, ahead of External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar's visit to US for 2+2 dialogue, this is how the three top newspapers of the US portrayed the anti-CAA protest on the front page. And you can see it right now on your screen as well, how the top three newspapers of US portrayed the anti-CAA protest, where you can see there is a barricade. People in large number are behind the barricade and there are gates that are closed and police is standing on the other side. Now, let us move on to next picture. This is what the Wall Street Journal in its opinion video said about CAA and NRC. In a stinging indictment, it said that India's Narendra Modi could leave a legacy of instability. It said that nationalistic policies such as the two controversial bills that have caused protests across India could tar Prime Minister Narendra Modi's legacy. Not only the publications but several Western journalists have asked the world to pay attention to what is happening in India. Now here is another one. Indian and Indian origin employees of technology companies including Google, Uber, Salesforce, Amazon, Facebook, Accenture, Microsoft, Tata Consultancy Services, HCL and Wipro have signed up in an open letter against India's new citizenship law and a planned National Citizenship Register. This letter has appeared on Tech Against Fascism, which is an online publishing platform. These employees span from San Francisco to Bangalore. Now, right from international media, Indian origin studying and working in foreign countries have condemned this act and the police crackdown on protesters. This is nothing less than a disaster from Prime Minister Modi, who has in the last 5 years drafted his global image very carefully. Right from his mega event at Times Square to the Howdy Modi this year, there are ample of examples that prove that PM Modi and his government took extra efforts to shape this favorable image in the West. But the image has taken a hit after the CAA protest. What will PM Modi do next? That we all have to see. For more news and updates, you can now log on to www.hwnews.in. Also, do let us know what you think about this video and your opinions. Please write to us in the comment box below. You can also download our HW News app on your Android Play Store and Apple Store. Also, do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter.
Now be the first to know about the latest updates on our new news app. Go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.